So, my second video for today is still February the 5th. So I thought I'd just talk about stuff, nothing crypto related. Let's see, what is there to talk about? Well, I think I'll throw my 2 cents in with the whole Netflix thing. Maybe Netflix will even hear this. I sincerely doubt that, but whatever. So I'll just say this video as a message to Netflix. Netflix, if you want to remain successful, you got to stop with the dumb woke crap, okay? Because the world is much bigger than just Hollywood America or whatever you guys are placed in. I don't care that much, but you guys don't seem to get it, that there's a whole world out there that doesn't care about American inclusivity and forced diversity and representation, okay? Because I'll tell you why it's racist. Because I know it sounds like I'm racist, but now I'll tell you why it's racist. You don't show appreciation for other cultures and countries' history and the way they think, act, their philosophy by just cramming it into like one big city and have it be a melting pot, because then everything that's unique about the culture gets lost. And I'll give you a good example. Now, I haven't read the Conan the Barbarian comics. I only watched the film, but I had some guy that was a big fan of Conan talking about it, and he said that a lot of the stuff you say has similarities in the Conan comics. And the reason is because if you go out and you explore, right, there's a sense of discovery and there's a sense of wonder that you don't find if everything is inclusive. So let's say Conan travels to like a Mongolian type country, right? Well, you could learn archery from there, from horseback, right? Horseback archery. Could learn how to ride his horse much better, how to shoot, how to wait for that exact moment when all 4 hooves are off the ground just before he fires for max stability. And then, like in the next episode, there could be like a small scene where he uses that, maybe a big scene, like when he's fighting. And the end of that Mongolian episode could have a monologue, like Conan writes, like, or tells his story to somebody, or writes his monologue or whatever. Not his monologue, but his biography or whatever. But he talks about, in Mongolia, I learned how to ride horse and shoot from horseback, and a little exposition there. And then when he goes to an Arab country, like, right, you could learn like haggling, for example. How to haggle like an Arab. Arabs are famous for haggling. And from there, then the next episode, like Conan, he's with some refugees or rebel fighters or whatever, and they give him some money and say, can you bring back us this and this? And then Conan comes back with like 4 or 5 times. And they ask him, like, how did you manage that, haggling? He'll just state, that's because you learned that from the Arabs, And you can go on. You can say, like, from the Scandinavians, you learned like the potency of mushrooms and how it affects you in battle, etc. So ignore pain, but the dangers of it too. So you should only use that in dire circumstances. He learned, for example, also from the Scandinavians, how to sail effectively on their boats, on a similar boat, because they're really good seafarer people. From the Inuits, you could learn how to survive in the snow, etc. So you actually show a lot of respect for the cultures, because you take what's unique about them and you make somebody that's ignorant about it learn about it and show appreciation for it. It could also be like an African thing, Conan goes to Africa. You learn how to effectively hunt with a spear, because there's an African tribe that actually hunts lion with spears. Conan could learn that. He could learn how to walk and trek like a marathon, almost like the Kenyan runners, where to look for water, etc. Lots of stuff. And you guys aren't doing that because you're infected with this woke mindset, and you listen too much to Twitter profiles. I'm sorry, but a Twitter profile, regardless how many followers he or she has, most likely she, is not going to be a representation of people collectively worldwide, which is your audience, because people watch Netflix in South America, people watch Netflix in the Middle East, people watch Netflix in Pakistan, people watch Netflix in Germany, Russia, Australia, everywhere, Egypt. It's not an American thing. And that's what I want to say. And of course, the share password thing, that's just dumb that you guys want to get rid of that. I mean, it just shows you how low you guys think of poor people. Okay? Like if you live in a really poor country, like Pakistan, like where actual poverty is, where power goes out 4 times a day, at least, then sharing Netflix password is super important, because you want to like have a moment where you can like escape your shitty reality, your shitty day, and just be with your loved ones and watch your series or whatever. And it helps then if you have like a rich uncle or something that pays for it, or if you all collectively pay for it. You don't think ahead. This is your problem. You produce shit, woke shit, that nobody likes. You don't respect the source material when you finally have some good stuff, like we saw with The Witcher. And you have this American mindset with everything. Okay? If you want to be really focused on representation of, marginalized people, so why not do something with Africa, Make like an African Netflix series. It could be like a tribe or something, like a typical story of a young man loves a girl, but the girl is promised to a rival, other chieftain and his son, and it turns out that they're all jerks because they're abusing people, etc. Typical love story. And I'm kind of like stealing a lot from Mehmet My Hawk right now, but like maybe he kills the chieftain's son, so the chieftain is angry at him, hunts him, and he has to escape, and he has to learn from other tribes, he has to learn to live in nature, etc., meets other people. Maybe during his travel, when he travels north, he actually meets like some Egyptians or something, and he can learn from them, like kind of like what I did with Conan, right? But I talked to you about Conan, except in Africa, because Africa is huge, and you could learn from that. And you could take all the folk stories that are there in Africa and have that act as like a moral guideline or something. Because I bet there's lots of folk stories in Africa that we never think about or heard about. Instead, what do we have? We have Wakanda, a Marvel comic universe thing. And I'm not saying the folk stories aren't fiction as much as the Wakanda stuff, but the Wakanda that's comic book crap, man. How about you actually respect like real African culture? That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I hope I came across without sounding like I'm some sort of idiot. But that's how I see it, If you force diversity and inclusivity, you kill the wonders of exploration and the experience of discovery. And I feel like if you want to write a good story, if you want to show a good story, you need that element of discovery, of wonder, of seeing new things, of learning new things, experiencing new cultures, listening to a whole new language for the first time. It's not that hard, folks. Come on, if I can figure it out, right, and I'm here walking with my dog, you guys should be able to figure it out, and you guys should be able to write a really good story, because that's your livelihood. And if not, someone will probably end up with a bright idea to just have ChatGPT write a good story about that, and you guys are screwed. So yeah, this is for Netflix, maybe also other streaming services, I don't know. I don't watch it that much. Yeah, have a good day.